Alright, hey AP Chemistry. I had made a video on this worksheet, but it was not loading, so I kind of have to go back and do this again, and I'm going to break it up into two parts. So this is for quick check number 4, and it's going to call it part 1. We're going to look at this first question. Now, if you don't need me to explain it and you just want to check your answer, you could, of course, pause the video and copy, but I'm going to go through everything here for this first question. So it says, when 10 grams of C5H12, which is known as pentane, is burned, 453 kilojoules of energy is released. So I have an energy and it's released. I made a note that it's exothermic and it must be negative. When energy is released, it leaves from the system and goes to the surroundings. So leaving the system, negative. What is the delta H of combustion for C5H12 in kilojoules per mole? Now, there were two ways of looking at this. Either we need to get units of kilojoules per mole. I have kilojoules and I'm going to need mole. My kilojoules was negative 453 kilojoules. Remember, energy is released, so it's negative. And for moles, well, I have grams, and I gotta go from grams to moles. And I know how to do that. Otherwise, in other videos or in other practice, there's this equation of Q equals NH. This may look familiar to some of us who have taken honors chemistry before, where we multiplied a mass times an H. Now we're gonna multiply moles times an H. But in this case, I have my Q, which is negative 453 kilojoules, and I'm looking for my H, and I have something that could get me my N, grams to moles. So I have my Q, I need to solve for moles. So I have 10 grams of C5H12, and I figured out the molar mass of C5H12 is 72.15. Convince yourself that you know how to do this. You need to know how to calculate molar masses. Periodic table, adding up the molar masses. So now, if I want to go from grams to moles, I need to divide by the molar mass. And I like to show that by using dimensional analysis. So 10 grams times 1 mole over 72.15 grams equals 0.139 moles C5H12. I have my moles, I have the energy, I need to divide those two, or I need to solve for H. I could do Q over N, which is the same thing right here. Q over N is equal to delta H. Negative 453 kilojoules divided by 0.139 moles equals negative 3259 kilojoules per mole. What's going to be very important is that you know how to think about where energy is going, if energy is positive or negative, and how to solve for delta H just given data. These will be questions that come up on the quiz that we will get in the future and on the AP exam. You have to know that the energy is going somewhere. Sometimes they give you the question where water raises a certain temperature, and it's getting that energy from whatever was put into it. So this is a very similar way of calculating delta H using that water question. You've seen that, and I mentioned that in your textbook. All right, so if you have any questions on this first prompt here, let me know.